Have you ever had a dream involving hair? More specifically, have you ever dreamt you had a different type of hairstyle? Well, let's talk about what hairstyles can mean in a dream. When it comes to dreams, hair can be symbolic of different things. Hair can represent strength and power, glory and honor, as well as wisdom and understanding. Some people have had dreams where they see themselves or someone else with a different hairstyle, different from how they style their hair in real life. Now, most of the hairstyles I'm going to mention in this video can have a positive or a negative meaning. So let's look at what hairstyles can mean in your dream. Number 1, braids. Braids in a dream can represent strength. Now, when you compare braids to twists, braids tend to be heavier and stronger. Ecclesiastes 4:12 says, "Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken." This verse is describing how the bond of 2 people, and some theologians say this is a metaphor for the marriage relationship, but it's describing how the bond of 2 people can become stronger with God at the center of the relationship. Braids also tend to last longer than twists, so braids in a dream can also be speaking of endurance. In the first chapter of James, it says, "Consider it all joy, my brothers and sisters, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance." So if you dream that your hair is braided and you don't wear braids in real life, this could be showing that you're increasing in spiritual strength, specifically strength of mind, and it would be showing that God is empowering you to endure a trial or a test. Number 2, twists. So twists in a dream can have a positive or negative meaning. Positively speaking, twist in a dream can simply be symbolic of the dreamer having a new outlook or a new perspective in a certain area of life. This is especially true if the twists are beautiful and the dreamer is admiring the twists. Negatively speaking, twists can represent twisted thinking. Now, twisted thinking involves negative or damaging thoughts. This way of thinking can come from low self-esteem, mental anxiety, or even depression. So if you have a dream that your hair is twisted and you feel confused in the dream or the atmosphere is dark, this would be pointing to the negative meaning of twists. So always look at the context of the dream in order to give it the correct interpretation. Number 3, dreadlocks. Dreadlocks are achieved by hair strands that mat together and become permanently locked together. Now, according to legend, the British, who were fighting Kenyan warriors during the late 19th century, came across the warriors wearing locks and found them to be dreadful and coined the name dreadlocks. So dreadlocks in a dream can be a play on words, which would be speaking of dread, in other words, worry or fear that the dreamer is facing and is playing out in the dream where they're wearing dreadlocks. It can also mean being locked in a certain mindset, in other words, unchanging in thought or perspective. Now, this could be positive or negative. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." So dreadlocks or locks in a dream could be positively speaking of a strong, sound mind, or negatively, it could mean that the dreamer is facing confusion, fear, worry, or some other negative way of thinking. Now, braids, twists, and locks in a dream can also be speaking of mental maturity or emotional growth because hair tends to grow while they're in these hairstyles. So keep that in mind. Number 4, hair extensions. So if you dream that you're wearing hair extensions such as clip-ons or sew-ins, this could represent growing in wisdom and understanding in a certain area of life. Hair extensions in a dream can be speaking of the dreamer's need to add on or increase in knowledge. 2 Peter 1:5 says, "And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge." So hair extensions in a dream can be showing that the dreamer is currently or needs to actively seek wisdom and spiritual understanding in a particular area of their life. Number 5, dyed hair. So depending on what color the hair is dyed in the dream, it could be positive or negative. So dyed hair could be showing that the dreamer's way of thinking has changed or there's been a change in perspective. So you would interpret the dream according to the meaning of the color. For instance, if your hair is dyed blue, this would either be speaking of a godly mindset or depression, depending on what's happening in the dream. On the other hand, if you dream that you have gray hair and you don't have gray hair in real life, this would be pointing to spiritual or emotional maturity. So if you have a dream that your hair is dyed, you would interpret the dream according to the meaning of the color. Number 6, big hair. Have you ever had a dream that you had big hair? If you dream that your hair is big, you have a big hairstyle, such as big curls or an afro, this could be speaking of creativity. It could be showing that the dreamer has big ideas and is innovative in their way of thinking. Negatively speaking, big hair in a dream can be revealing self-centeredness and attention-seeking behaviors. So as always, pay attention to the context of the dream, and that will tell you how to apply the big hair meaning. Number 7, a haircut. So a haircut in a dream can be positive in that it could be symbolic of cutting off negative thoughts and gaining a new perspective in life. This would be especially true if you feel a sense of joy and peace in the dream after getting the haircut. But a haircut in a dream can also be negative and can be revealing a loss of wisdom or understanding or a negative change in thoughts or perception. Number 8, a bald head. So dreaming that you're bald in a dream can represent lacking wisdom or understanding. Baldness can also be a sign of depression or grief. Job 1:20 says, "Then Job got up, tore his robe, and shaved his head." Job shaved his head as a sign of grief after he lost everything. Also, a bald head in a dream could be encouraging the dreamer to live a holy and consecrated life before God. The Nazarites, which was a special group in the Bible days, took vows of consecration to God by shaving their heads. And 3 well-known Nazarites in the Bible are Samuel, Samson, and John the Baptist. Paul also shaved his head in the book of Acts, the 18th chapter, as an act of consecrating and dedicating himself to God. So being bald in a dream can have a negative meaning in that it could mean lacking wisdom or understanding in a particular area of life. It could also be showing depression or grief, or it could be God encouraging the dreamer to draw closer to him and live a more holy and consecrated life. Now, when it comes to grooming your own hair in a dream, that can absolutely have a meaning. So, what do you suppose combing or brushing your hair or even flat ironing your hair can mean in a dream? I'm curious to know what you think. Leave it in the comment section on what you think combing your hair or brushing your hair or flat ironing your hair can mean in a dream. Hey, have you picked up your copy of The Mysterious Language of Dreams yet? In this book, I go more in depth about dreams and dream interpretation than I do on my YouTube videos. I talk about the depth dimension of dreams, dream layers. I talk about the time dimension of a dream. Also, dreams and the imagination, which is quite interesting. I also have put over 40 real life, actual dreams that people have dreamt in the book for you to practice your interpretation skills. Also in the back of the book is a dream dictionary with over 400 dream symbols. So I've left a link in the description box below where you can go and pick up your copy of The Mysterious Language of Dreams today. Have you ever had a dream involving a particular hairstyle? You might have been wearing a hairstyle in the dream that you don't normally wear in real life. If so, I want to hear about it. Leave it in the comments section. And if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, please. And if you're not a part of the Dream Team, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you won't miss any upcoming videos. I'll talk to you all next time.